Kisa, Kisa. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Um, Before I go ahead and make this start talking about different topic, I wanted to say something about um my accent. Right, I I have a minor in music engineer. I went to school also for film. I'm doing this because I like doing this. I know I have a lot of eye turning, if you hear from my parents, from other people. You're going asking what I used to do. I'm doing something I love. I love doing YouTube. Look, I just lost a channel for 5,000. I couldn't just walk away. I still like doing it. I spend tens of thousands of dollars on buying equipment to do this. I do this because can you, if you don't like my channel, please just ignore my channel. Stop telling me what I should do with my channel. I know I have a heavy accent. Stop saying, oh, I should get somebody else to do my video for me. You don't understand me. Like, this is America. There are plenty foreign people that doesn't speak English properly. There's Asian people who's been here. If you look at their channel, they have accent, but they don't want to do it in Asia, in Chinese or whatever Asian country you're from, and they want to do it in English. There's people from Latin country. They're not trying to do it. And a matter of fact, I have a people, somebody from Africa. He English is not second language, but he know by doing the video in English, it got a broader audience, right? So he do it, and even though in Africa, but I go to different country, but he do it in Africa. I have another blogger who's in Haiti. He never came to America, but he also do his channel going to different part of Haiti, but he do it in English. He know that if he do it on, there's a lot of Haitian that live in America, even Haitian that live abroad. It would be best if he do it in English instead of do it in Creole. So even though I do have an accent, but you can understand what I'm trying to say. Stop telling me that I should get somebody else to do my channel and run and what I run better. I'm doing this. I'm not trying. Trust me. In the beginning, I used to try to help people with their things. I'm not trying to help people do this. I'm doing something I like doing. Appreciate your comment. I really appreciate all your feedback. But I'm not interested in doing this for somebody else. I'll do it for me. I have a speech impediment, so sometimes the way I talk, it look like Miney Doug, like I said before. So please bear with me, and I really appreciate for those who there, for the support. I really love you guys so much. Thank you so much. But if you're not come here to support, stop telling me that I should get somebody else to do my channel. It's under my name. I'm talking about stuff I want to talk about. If you don't like it, if you don't like my accent, stop telling me I can barely speak English, but you want to talk about this government, bro. There's a lot of bloggers, like journalists, who talk about different things from different countries with a heavy accent. You cannot tell me I'm the only bilingual person you'll see, what I mean, making channel and they have a heavy accent. If you do, you haven't been in YouTube for a while. But I digress. Let's continue, man. Um, this is like the thing is split, right? About stuff that I'm going to talk about. 1 minute. 1 minute, why? 1 second, guys. Yes.
Ou pa ka yo. Yo
Ma
toujou.
fè sa fè mami, ki te ma repom.
Ki sa fwa fè ba e pou 50 piastres. Mwen e tu wap mare yo. Ba dek ba ke la. Ya sa mati yo mwen kapi nou te sou ba e sa yo. Ya bagay non. Se bon ve.
So I have a Haitian mom, and she's very persistent, and she can be very rude sometimes. She want you to be very respectful, but sometimes she say the most obnoxious stuff sometimes. But she's foreign, so you just gotta deal with it. So Drake and Toronto performing now. According to many outlets, they say that um, this is that's how Toronto look like. Damn, people come prepare. I cannot play the audio. Look, this crowd going crazy. And I feel they say it's supposed to be like a 2 or 3 day thing. Sometimes I gotta pop up and show niggas. It's not sure whether or not Drake will show up, but they're really watching for him not to show up. And also, and this is Drake friend, top five. They say that top five has been blocked from entering um, um, Nobu Hotel, security everywhere. And they got U.S. Marshal, this, that, and a third. Yeah, yeah, this nigga got protection, so you got children. What the hell you talking about? So also today, it's been officially been charged. Um, um, what should I say? Antonio Brown been officially charged for the gun shooting that happened back in June, back in mid May, where he pulled out a gun for an altercation with influencers inside in the third. This guy got children, but still acting crazy. Um, yeah, and Bianca reportedly arrived at Diddy trial this morning, but were denied access and in the courthouse. Oh shit! So he did appear. God damn. But 50 Cent said that's why he was supporting Diddy. He his ass was out in Vegas with that little dead bag. LOL. Also, uh, 50 Cent is kind of like officially say that um, Ye is the guy that they say that kind of like slept with his baby mama Daphne um, um, in Vegas, and it's kind of like Diddy was kind of mad at the fact that Ye have a freak off with Daphne, um, and Diddy wasn't too happy about that. But damn, damn, bro, that's gotta look bad for 50 a little bit. Even though he's kind of clowning, even though they not did it, but for you two out here, I understand it wasn't a lot of money, but 50 was giving her 45,000 a 4,500 a month. And I don't think she feel like that was enough to live a luxurious life. So she went in and instead of trying to get a business, try to hustle, she went after Diddy, and Diddy was giving her a lot of money, but with contract to like do freak off. God damn, that's 50 both enemy, both yeah and Diddy are 50 Cent's enemy because remember when they are doing the battle, but they kind of like, damn. See, right there. During the trial, also there is a panel that Daphne also not just freak off with Diddy, but participating in other freak off that involve other celebrities. So it was like a, I guess It was a party where you can watch people having sex in front of you, and Daphne kind of like got so excited and flashed people in there, and that's how the whole thing with Kanye West got started, and yeah, so they kind of exactly today, bro. They kind of like debunk a lot of Kanye Daphne testimony. So even though Didi currently is paying for her lawyer and also pay for her apartment because after the whole Cassie thing came out, she tried to like blackmail Didi with like, hey, if you don't pay me $100,000 a year plus my apartment for the rest for every year, I'm gonna tell something. And she turned around and still did it. She still talked to the prosecutor now. Well, some woman has it. The reason she's talking to me because they probably was trying to charge her with defamation, and she kind of like just, and I guess they brought her in front of a grand jury. She decided to agree to go against Didi, and that's how they're getting all those people, bro, to go turn on Didi. They go after them, they bring them to a grand jury because they say if you don't go testify against Greg Didi, we're gonna charge you for be part of that RICO. And they're already like, oh, I got a daughter, I got a son, I got business. I can't be like, I'm ready to go. So a lot of people like they just try to save their own eyes, to be honest with you. But I digress, guys. But during the testimony, man, they cross over, man. They like there's a lot of things come out about her having freak off with other people, her having sex with that sex worker without 50 being there, her jealous with your Miami, her her got money from other people, not just from Didi. Yeah, thing is not looking for her. I think today is a third day or fourth day, but they'll really debunk the whole thing, bro. Um, a lot of people say there's definitely not gonna be look like no Rico case, bro. Today, not, bro. How? Okay, before I even go there, bro. How that Didi trial is going on, but let me show you something that happened today, bro. They are targeting Didi, but one person just looked like could possibly walk, but maybe for New York trial, not the LA. LA, he's been tried because you know LA is way tougher on men. You know what's going on with Tory. Shout out Big Tory. Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein trial been declared a mistrial, guys. After some jurors did not show up because they already found one count of guilty, and but the I guess in the second charge and the third one, they could not come to a conclusion. So I don't know if it's mistrial for an entire thing. No, it's not said if it's mistrial without prejudice because a mistrial without prejudice meaning that they cannot retry it. So I would have to look at if it's a mistrial. Right now they just say it's a mistrial. Let me see. A foreign person of 12-person panel said he's been threat. I guess a juror been threatening by other. Oh shit! And 12-person said he was threatened by other jurors and straight up refused to go back. So it looked like that's like a man, right? And all the other jurors, all because they said they have um 7 women and a few men. So that because they were getting threat, that juror decided not to come back. On Wednesday, a juror had already found disagree for moving with the mogul. The jury had already found disgrace movie mogul guilty on one count and criminal sexual act against Project Runway assistant Marama Hali. He was also found not guilty for another criminal sexual act charge involved a supervisor, but it came to a the third degree rape charge connect to aspiring actress Jessica Man, Juror Stark. See, a lot of people say privilege, Where's R. Kelly? Oh, so they sent a mistrial for the entire thing. I don't know how's that work. Um, it's not more detail on whether or not he's. he- But like I said, he's not getting out anytime soon because I think he said that 30 years for California thing, and she's already 65. But wow, wow, wow. Um, Clarissa Shield. No, I'm not chasing no girl fight over here, bruh. Today, did he put a whole family matter video? Look, he call it freak off matter. Oh man, Diddy is crazy. Oh my god, family matter is the 50 Cent baby mamas. Kid Cudi day night, J-Lo age 50s, and Diddy, Jay-Z's missing, Justin Bieber, and the Punisher. Oh my God! And Diddy produced by Kanye West. Oh my God, bro! 50 is still, bro. He's still relevant, bro. God damn. Let's hear about the whole Kanye West appeal the thing.
Right here for you first. Kanye West was in the building this morning. That is the reason for the freak out, why they had to go into the room, the robe room, because Kanye showed up here this morning with Bianca Sensory. I'm guessing she was dressed. I don't know. I know they arrived at Newark Airport last night at 9:30 p.m. This is intense. Kanye was here. They had that whole big meeting because the government was like, he cannot come up here. He will sway the jury to be on the Ye side. I mean, I'm not down with Ye. I'll put that out here now. I'm a Jewish man, so all the stuff he's doing, there's no way I can ever get down with that. But wow, Kanye was here, and Kanye, this is probably the first club that he was kicked out of, a federal court building. Go figure. Kanye thought he was going to show up, man, and just give him a little Yeezy. He thought he was going to go a little guys hot. He thought he was going to go a little cray on him, like blinking, blinking, right? You know what I mean? This is crazy.
This
Block
guy
is
is
so
crazy.
hot. Just had somebody else come up to us, try to start a fight.
Bruh, that shit is kind of crazy, but yeah, it is. Wow, wow. Oh my God. Bruh, guys, I know I already talked about it though. Let me see. Okay, this morning.
We're following breaking news from Western India, where a plane carrying 242 people has crashed shortly after taking off for London. This is the first video from the scene after the Air India flight slammed into a neighborhood. The city's commissioner says there doesn't appear to be any survivors, and there are likely casualties on the ground as well.
The plane was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. This morning, the company says it's working to gather more information on this. The airline says among those on the flight were 169 Indians, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian person. According to the Aviation Safety Network database, this is the first crash involving a 787 Dreamliner since it was introduced in 2009.
We're following breaking news.
Bruh, after that happened, we thought everybody died in a plane. But a few hours later, right? A few hours later, this video appeared. It going crazy.
We're following breaking news.
So there was one man survived. They don't know how the hell he survived. I guess he's a British Indian. But yeah, I was questioning, but now I know he's a British Indian. I don't think he had nothing to do with the whole thing. But God, I guess they say when it's not your time, it's not your time, bro. Wow, that really happened, man. Um, this video pop up
Hey,
today
baby, we had a great time.
during the DD case today. Another video that appeared is audio of his sex scene talking with Daphne.
In the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are pipe.
They're
That's my
calling
new
each
name
other,
for you,
they're
pipe.
calling each other
Or should I
crop.
call you CP? But yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like so much fun. So much fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. Mwah. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second. All right, get some rest, baby. Love. So if you come in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had was
Bro, it's not sure when that happened, but it just appeared out of nowhere. Old audio. Bro, check this out, man. Um, let me show you. Early today, bro, um, a sitting senator out of a sitting senator out of California by the name of um, Alex Padilla was manhandled by FBI after appearing at a conference with DHS Secretary Christy Nolan. And this is how they treat a sitting elected official in California for confronting Christy Nolan. Noel.
Guys, ready? And bell. Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is I have a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
Wow.
hands up.
Yeah, really.
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I put behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording loud.
Those officers.
I did that. There's no recording allowed out here for FBI, right?
Those officers.
So what? I'm sorry. There's no recording allowed out here. That's my boss.
Guys, ready? And bell. Sir.
Those officers should lose their job without pay, because that's very understand secretary, not vice president, not bro. This is like there's no way you should treat a senator. She's not any more powerful than he is. But for you to overuse force to another elected official is mind-boggling. MSNBC. Let's see what MSNBC had to say about that. A lot of other officials have come forward for that.
It is unacceptable that a United States senator in his own home state, elected by millions of people, went to ask a question for his constituents to get an answer and was brutally thrown to the ground, and handcuffed. That is wrong. And I cannot believe that we don't have senators on both sides of the aisle calling this out as outrageous.
Now,
This is what a democracy.
if there was a Senate, Democrat, Republican official, they would probably ask for FBI, that official to be fired. There's a little, but when a Republican do that pushback, not only they're silent, you don't hear them be going in front of the press do that. But I'm glad if there's some Democrats finally come together, realize that how dangerous shit is, and start speaking out and standing up.
Is about, Mr. President. Mr. President, it is about us coming to the United States Senate, speaking out, asking questions, getting information so we can be their voice. What happens when that voice is stifled? What happens when that voice is thrown to the floor and handcuffed? Our democracy is lost. Mr. President, I have been here for more than 32 years. I have come to this floor often to speak out, to be angry, to be a voice for my people. I have never come this close to having tears in my eyes as I speak to both sides of this aisle about this horrendous incident that occurred. We are a democracy, but we can lose that democracy. It can be gone unless all of us speak out and forcibly reject what happened to a United States Senator, and to send the message that in this democracy, it is just, it is right, it is part of our responsibility to speak up, to ask questions, and to be able to have the knowledge we need to represent the people that we come here for.
That is Senator Patty Murray. I forgot what state that she's a senator at. Let me look at it.
It is unacceptable.
Senator Patty Murray, lauchh. But I'm sorry, guys. I don't know exactly what. It's not sure what state she's senator from, but yeah, that senator speaking on the behalf of Senator Padilla. Here's what happened. The press conference Mr. Padilla have after the incident happened and he was released.
Since the beginning of the year, but especially over the course of recent weeks, several of my colleagues have been asking the Department of Homeland Security for more information and more answers on their increasingly extreme immigration enforcement actions. And we've gotten little to no information in response to our inquiries. And so I came to the press conference to hear what she had to say, to see if I could learn any new additional information. And at one point, I had a question. And let me emphasize, just as we've emphasized the right for people to peacefully protest and to stand up for their First Amendment rights, for our fundamental rights. I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question. And so I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was forced to the ground, and I was handcuffed. I was not arrested. I was not detained. I will say this. If this is how this administration responds to a senator with a question, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country. We will hold this administration accountable. Since the beginning of the year, but especially over the course of the last
that is crazy. not only those officials should be discharged, but after I know a lot of them gonna probably go to prison, but not now. But it take time. Once Trump is out of the power, a lot of those people should be charged.
Trump administration is a disgrace. Secretary Noem is a disgrace. The manhandling of Senator
So
Alex
this
Padilla.
is Jeffrey Lambert. This is the president of the Democrat caucus. So he's speaking on behalf of the elected his constituent, but he's not the leader of he's the leader of House Democrat, which is Congress, but not House leader of Senate. That would be what's that guy from New York? Again, Minority Leader Schumer. Let's continue.
Padilla was a complete and total disgrace. Senator Padilla is a good man, a decent man, a patriotic man, and a hardworking man. He's the very embodiment of what a United States senator should represent in this great country of ours, anchored in the principle of self-government. He was at that press conference doing his job, asking questions about what is taking place in California, the state that he represents, and on behalf of the American people. And he was recklessly and aggressively manhandled. That was unacceptable. It was unconscionable. It was unpatriotic. It's un-American. And every single person who was involved in manhandling Senator Padilla should be held accountable to the full extent of the law.
Yes.
So this is not going to end until there is accountability and until the Trump administration changes its behavior. This administration.
Yes, every single officers who right there who put hand on the senator should be fired without pay. They should be detained and awaiting for to be fired without with and lose their pension.
It's not about law and order. It's about lawlessness and disorder. And that's what we've seen from day one of the Trump administration. When Donald Trump pardoned hundreds of violent felons who brutally assaulted the Capitol right behind us. Day one, this administration has been about lawlessness and disorder, and we see a continuing escalation of it. And we're going to make sure that we push back aggressively in every way possible to hold those individuals accountable who, without justification, manhandled Senator Alex Padilla.
Okay, so that was House Leader Jeffrey Lambert speaking on behalf, and now elected official over in California with Mayor.
We are a city.
With a Mayor Bass speaking on behalf of the Padilla. So this is an elected official in the mayor office speaking on behalf of Padilla. What happened?
The believers, and we are a city of dreamers. So let's just remember why we are here today. Last Thursday, ICE entered our city and provoked the city by chasing people through Home Depots and car washes and showing up at schools, and today showing up at emergency rooms and homeless shelters. ICE intervened as a pretext to federalize the National Guard, and then in the White House, the National Guard was complimented for the work that they did to keep peace in the city Saturday night. But I will tell you, the Guard didn't even arrive here until Sunday. They used this as a pretext to send the U.S. Marines into an American city, which will target our own citizens. They've been threatening elected officials with arrests and they just shoved and cuffed a sitting U.S. senator. How could you say that you did not know who he was? We see the videotape. We see him saying who he was. But how do you not recognize one of two senators in our state? And he is not just any senator. He is the first Latino senator to ever represent our state. We are a city of believers, and
I guess that was a short clip of it.
When you watch this, and let's go through this together. Describe to me what you're seeing. What's happening here?
Yeah, again, well, multiple people forcibly removing from the room. I know I was trying to do two things at once, try to get my question out while trying not to lose my balance. They first asked me to, get down on my knees. Like growing up where I grew up, you know what happens if you don't obey law enforcement. And so I began to go on my knees to the extent that they would let me, because they were literally handling me at the same time. And it went from getting on their knees to flat on the floor, which I tried, but wasn't able to easily because of the folks handling me. They put handcuffs on me. So yes, I was handcuffed.
These are FBI agents. Did they tell you who they were?
They wouldn't identify themselves. And I kept repeatedly asking themselves, why am I being detained? No answer. Why am I being detained? No answer. Why am I being detained? No answer. Then they get me back up on my feet and we start walking. Don't tell me where we're going.
You were handcuffed at this point.
Absolutely. Am I being led back outside? I don't know. Am I being taken to a cell? I don't know. They were not communicative until somebody from, I'm sure, Secretary Noem's team figured out I was who I said I was and finally said, let him go.
When you watch this, and let's go through this together. Describe to me what you're seeing. What's happening here?
Yeah, again, well, multiple people.
Man, that was a very sad thing that happened today, man. But moving on from this, let's see other thing that happened during the news today, and we're gonna jump into Iran and Iraq situation. So after we got that news today about what happened with after we got the news today what happened with Senator in California, just a few hours later
moment.
Yeah, so after we got this news coming out of from every news outlet that
I'd have missed if I didn't have
a nuclear launched multiple attack targeting Iran nuclear and
my rear link stable surveillance cameras.
Sorry, I'm stuttering.
We do begin with that breaking news in the Middle East and now escalating fears of an all-out war in the region. The IDF has confirmed Israel has hit nuclear targets. Officials say dozens of jets completed the first stage that included strikes on dozens of military targets, including nuclear ones. Our producer on the ground in Tehran heard blasts around the city. Our teams have reported air raid sirens in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. The strikes come as the U.S. has planned nuclear talks with Iranian officials this weekend. We'll go to Tel Aviv in just a moment, but But first, let's go straight to senior White House correspondent Selena Wang. Selena, what are U.S. officials saying about this attack?
Well, in fact, we're just getting a statement from the White House. According to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, in the statement, he is stressing that there was no U.S. involvement in this attack. I'll just read to you part of it, saying tonight Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. He goes on to say that Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. Now, Lindsay, this comes after the State Department had ordered non-essential diplomats out of Iraq, and the Pentagon had authorized military families to depart throughout the Middle East voluntarily if they chose to do so. The president has said that the region could become very dangerous. Now, earlier today, I asked President Trump just how imminent this strike could be. He said it very well could happen, but he stressed that he prefers a diplomatic solution. In fact, just last month, President Trump had said that he warned Prime Minister Netanyahu against striking against Iran because he said the U.S. and Iran were close to an agreement. So the big question here, Lindsay, is what this means for ongoing U.S. and Iran nuclear talks.
Selena Wang from the White House for us. I want to bring in ABC News military analyst Steve Ganyard. And Steve, we know that Israel has been warning for months, if not years, that it might strike Israel. Why now?
Lindsay, I think that they were fed up with the negotiations, that the U.S. was getting played by Iran, that Iran had no intent of giving up its nuclear program, and that they were going to push forward on enrichment and eventually to a nuclear weapon. And they have sworn that they would destroy the state of Israel. And so Benjamin Netanyahu said, well, we went back in there in October and we took down all of their air defenses. They're working hard with Chinese and Russian capabilities to rearm their air defenses. And so this is a time for us to go in now before those air defenses are done, because we don't think that the U.S. negotiations are going anywhere. We think that the U.S. is getting played.
And Trump suggested earlier today that this could happen. He warned U.S. officials that they should leave the region. Is that likely that Israel tipped them off that this was imminent?
They may have given hints, but remember that frankly, the United States leaks like a sieve. And if there had been advanced warning given by the Israelis, that puts their crews in danger. They had lots of aircraft airborne tonight. And so they're not going to give the U.S. the kind of information that might leak and actually put their folks in danger, to take away that element of surprise. One of the things I think we need to think about, Lindsay, is what's next. So we know that they did hit nuclear sites tonight. We know that they may have gone after some of the leadership. We're seeing pictures from Tehran of various residential areas that may have been hit. But the real response is going to come from Iran with more ballistic missiles, just like we saw, and cruise missiles, just like we saw back in October in those massive barrages. So we can expect here in the hours to come that the Iranians will retaliate, that there will be incoming missiles, both cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, towards Israel. And the real question for Israel right now is, will their air and missile defenses hold up to the same degree that they did last October, where no serious damage was done? They got lucky, and the question is, can they get lucky again?
And we will probably find out in the coming hours. Steve Ganyard, we thank you so much. Want to bring in ABC's Marcus Moore, who's in Tel Aviv at this hour. And Marcus, I see that you're no longer in that shelter. What made you feel that it's safe enough to now be out in the open?
Well, Lindsay, we got the all clear, the announcement that came down on the loudspeakers about 20 minutes after the initial warning for everyone to leave. Then afterwards, they said that thanked everyone for their cooperation and that they could.
So even though Trump warned Israel not to strike because he tried to settle a deal with Israel, and I feel like after days and weeks passed, Israel feel like Israel is taking it to his own hand and said, "I'm going to try and strike multiple locations, destroy your state." Matter of fact, one person is dead, as alleged that one person to be a lead scientist for the Iraq military situation. Now, I don't know how true that is. Iranian is not going to confirm nothing, but that is not a good thing for Iran either. but we'll see when they'll strike back and how they strike back. Um, is 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 crazy. Um, oh, sorry guys. I was looking for other video.
Welcome to HFS Financial, where you dream it, we finance it for any home.
And actually, we're hearing a statement from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's listen to his statement from just moments ago.
Months ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made...
But you can abolish another country that is Muslim. I'm supposed to just okay with that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Made it clear time and again.
I follow.
Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal.
But yeah, as I was gonna say, even the United States want Israel not to, because they try to do it, they do it anyway. And I think if they only do it because they don't want a United States to strike a deal with Iran, because they want to able to continue their war. So they pretty much headed to 3 war now. So they're already bombing Baghdad for almost 2 years. They are continue bombing Yemen, and now they want to add Iran into the blood testing war to a third country. Now, Israel doesn't have that many people to be in 3 war at once, but Netanyahu, like, this guy is so corrupt. I've been knowing about Netanyahu since I got into the United States since I was 13. For this guy still able to running and manage this country, I have no idea. But to each their own, guy. Let me know what you think about the whole situation with Iran, and Netanyahu's tracking Iran. What do you think this situation is? Some people said that thing can escalate to a lot more major throughout the region. And let's open that pretty for me. Until next time, guys. Deuces.